In this video, I will show you exactly how I built the n8n workflow that powers the Seedream versus Nano Banana comparison. This workflow automatically creates both image and video variations using two different AI models, then saves everything to Airtable so you can compare results side by side. A webhook kicks things off. We pull the reference image and prompts from Airtable. Then workflow splits into two parallel paths. One path uses Seedream to generate an image, the other uses Nano Banana. Both generated images then get turned into videos using Google's VO3 model. The workflow waits for processing, checks if the video is ready, and saves everything back to Airtable with updated status. You end up with 4 assets, 2 image URLs and 2 video URLs, all from just one trigger. To make setup easy, I have got the complete workflow template ready for you. Grab it free from my Skool community. Link is in the description. Once you have joined, download the JSON file, head to n8n, select the plus button here and select workflow option. Hit the 3 dots here and choose import from file option. Pick the template and boom, you have got the full workflow imported. Repeat the same process to import Nano Banana image workflow and also Seedream image workflow. You will also need to copy the Airtable base. I'm using this Nano Banana adds Airtable base and created Seedream versus Nano table inside the base. Now let us walk through the workflows. Here we have the main workflow, Seedream versus Nano Banana. It will call two sub workflows, Seedream workflow and Nano Banana workflow. It all starts with the Airtable webhook node. This webhook creates the trigger point for our comparison workflow. It generates a production URL that you will use to start this entire automation. Make a note of this webhook URL since you will need to connect it to your Airtable automation later. I will show you exactly where to add it when we get to the Airtable setup. This Airtable node grabs all the data we need for generating images and videos. We are using Airtable as the backend for storing our images and video links. You will need to provide your Airtable credentials here. I will quickly show you how to create Airtable credentials. Go to airtable.com, select sign up for free and create an account. Once logged in, select your avatar and choose Builder Hub option. Select personal access token here and choose this create token button. Give it a name here, add scope and add access. You can click on this add all resources option so access will be granted to all the current and future Airtable bases. Then hit the create token button here. It will generate an access token for you. Once you have those details, click on this drop down box and select create new credential option. We are using access token method to connect to Airtable. Paste your access token here and hit this save button. The node connects to Nano Banana adds Airtable base and inside the base we are connecting to the Seedream versus Nano table. Here we are using a filter formula to find records where status equals to do. These are the ones ready for processing. In the options, we have specified the fields that we want to pull from the table. These fields contain everything both AI models need to generate your assets. Great, now you have got the data we need. We will split this into parallel image generation paths. This Seedream execute workflow node calls a separate workflow that handles Seedream image generation. The cool thing about using execute workflow nodes is it keeps your automation modular and clean. This node passes all the data from get data node to the Seedream workflow, which does its thing and returns the generated image URL. Here under the workflow field, we have mentioned which workflow we are calling in this node. Let us drill into this sub workflow. This is a sub workflow that is being called by the main workflow for generating Seedream image. It receives all the data passed from the parent workflow, things like image prompt, reference image URL and aspect ratio. This setup keeps your workflow modular so you can reuse this image generation logic anywhere. Nice and clean, right? Next up, we will submit that image generation request. This node sends your image generation job to Key AI's API. You will need Key AI credentials to use their API. Head to key.ai, create an account here. Once you created your account and logged on to your dashboard, navigate to your API key option, select create API button to create your API key. You'll also need to add some credits. You can add a small amount like $5. Then add your API key details here. Click on this drop down box under header auth and select create new credential. In the name field, type in authorization. In the value field, type in the word bearer, give a space and then paste your API key. Then hit the save button. You will need to create these credentials only for the first time. Next time when you want to connect to Key AI, you can use the same credential. Now let us quickly go through the image creation API endpoints. Hover over AI image API and select Seedream API. This model is developed by ByteDance, same company owning TikTok. Here we have two models. One is text to image model and the other one is image to image model, that is called Seedream before edit. Here we will be using the image edit model. Select this Seedream before edit model. Here it will show you how much it is going to charge per image. You can also use this playground to test out your prompts and see how the output is coming. Now since we are interested in using the API, select this API option. Here we can see the API endpoints. One is for creating the task, other one is for querying the task. Here it will have all the details about how to call this API endpoint. It says we need to use the post method and then this is the endpoint URL that we need to use. You can click on this copy button to paste it inside the HTTP request node. You can see we are using the same post method here and then the same URL here. The JSON body is where things get interesting. We are specifying the model as Seedream before edit, which is Seedream's latest version. The prompt field uses JSON.stringify. The prompt field uses JSON.stringify to properly format the image prompt we received from the parent workflow. For image URLs, we are pulling the first reference image URL from the data array. The image size has a conditional logic. If aspect ratio is 9:16, we use portrait. If it is 16:9, we use landscape. If it is 1:1, we use square. We're also setting the image resolution here to 4K for high quality output. You can change it to 1K or 2K. In the API call details, it specifies those options are available. The batching option sets a batch size of 1 with a 5-second interval to avoid hitting rate limits. Once this API runs, it will return a task ID that we will use to check on its progress. Great, request submitted. Now we need to give it time to process. This wait node pauses the workflow for 40 seconds. AI image generation is not instant, so we are giving Seedream time to work its magic. 40 seconds is usually enough for simpler images, but complex ones might need more time. After waiting, this HTTP request node checks if your image is ready. It uses a GET request to Key AI's record info endpoint with the task ID from our submission as a query parameter. The API response includes a state field that tells us what is happening. Success means the image is done. This if node checks whether image generation completed successfully. It looks for this state field from retrieve image response node, and if it equals success, we route to the true output and extract the image URL. If anything else, we route to the false output to wait longer. If the image was not ready after 40 seconds, this wait node pauses for another 20 seconds before checking again. It connects back to retrieve image node to create a loop. This set node extracts the final image URL from the API response and formats it for the parent workflow. Here we create a variable Seedream_image, and here we are using an expression to extract the image URL and store it in this field. We have finished reviewing the Seedream image sub workflow. Let us go back to the main workflow. Here we have another execute workflow for Nano Banana. It works exactly like the Seedream node but calls the Nano Banana workflow instead. It takes the same input data and processes it through Google's Nano Banana AI model. The output includes nano_image with the generated image URL. Here we can see in the workflow option we have specified AI Nano Banana image workflow needs to be called. Let us quickly review the Nano Banana sub workflow. This is the same node we just covered for Seedream sub workflow. This HTTP request node sends your image generation task to Key AI's API. Here we will use Nano Banana AI model instead of Seedream. Let us quickly go through the image creation API endpoints for Nano Banana. Again, hover over AI image API and select Nano Banana API. Here you will see under model type 3 different models. The first one is the image to image model. The second one is text to image model. The third one is upscaling model. The Nano Banana image model is also known as Gemini 2.5 Flash Image Preview, owned by Google. You can use this playground to test out few prompts and check the output image produced. Here it is showing you how much it will cost per image. Since we are interested in the API endpoints, select this API option. Similar to Seedream, again here we have two API endpoints. One is for creating the task that submits the job for image creation, and then there is a query task API endpoint which will query the previous submission job for completion. Here you see all the details for calling this API endpoint. You can go through all the documentation here. This is the API endpoint URL, and we need to use the post method. You can select this query task option to see the details about the query task API endpoint. The JSON body specifies the Nano Banana edit model. The image size is pulled directly from aspect ratio field. Nano Banana accepts values like 9 by 16, 16 by 9 or 1 by 1. Similar to Seedream API, this will respond with the task ID that we will use to check the progress. The rest of the nodes work same way we already covered for Seedream workflow. In the final node, we extract the image URL and set it to nano_image field. We are done covering both sub workflows. Let us jump back to the main workflow. This HTTP request node sends the Seedream image to Key AI's VO3 API for video generation. This is the API endpoint for the video generation. Let us quickly go through the video creation API endpoints for Google's VO3. While you are in Key AI, hover over this AI video option and select this VO3 API. Here we have two models, VO3 Fast, which is a lot cheaper than the VO3 Quality. We are using VO3 Fast in our workflow. Select this API option. Here are the details of this API endpoint. This is the API endpoint URL, and we will be using this post method. This creates video generation task and submits the job. Here you can see a curl example on how to use this API. We have this get VO3 video details API to check whether the video generation job is complete or not. Here you can see the status description. 0 means the task is still being processed. 1 means task completed successfully. Other values mean the video is not generated successfully. We have specified the details of video generation in this JSON body. We are pulling the video prompt from our Airtable data, replacing line breaks and escaping quotes so the JSON stays valid. The model is set to VO3 Fast for quick processing. We are using aspect ratio from the Airtable and passing the Seedream image URL to image URL's parameter. The API returns a task ID that we will use to check on the completion status. This is the submit video node for the Nano Banana image. This node is nearly identical to submit Seedream video node. Same API endpoint, same credentials, same video model. The only difference is we are passing the Nano Banana image instead of the Seedream image. The Nano Banana image is pulled from this Nano image field we got from Nano Banana node. The prompt, aspect ratio and model settings remain the same. The video generation takes time, so this wait node pauses the workflow for 4 minutes. This gives the VO3 API enough time to process the Seedream video. This wait nano node is same deal as the wait Seedream node. After waiting, this HTTP request node checks if the Seedream video is ready. It uses a get request to Key AI's record info endpoint. In the query parameters, we are passing the task ID we got from the submit node. The API returns a response with a success flag that tells us if the video is done. As we have reviewed earlier, 1 means success, 0 means still processing. Anything higher means error. This retrieve nano node works identically to retrieve Seedream node. This switch node looks at the success flag from the video retrieval and routes the workflow accordingly. In the mode field, we have specified rules, and here we have specified the routing rules. If the flag is equal to 1, we rename the output as success, and if the value is equal to 0, we rename the output as in progress. Other values is error. This conditional logic keeps the workflow running smoothly even when videos take longer than expected. The switch nano node is same three-way logic as switch Seedream node, but handling the nano video. Success goes to save, in progress loops back to wait, error handles failures. If the video was not ready after the first 4-minute wait, this wait node adds another minute before checking again. It connects back to the retrieve Seedream video to create a checking loop. This Airtable node saves the successful Seedream results back to your table. For the operation, we have specified update here and we have selected our table. Under mapping column mode, we have specified map each column manually, and we are using this title column to find the match. We are updating two things here in this Seedream node. We are updating the value of the Seedream image URL field and then Seedream video URL field. These URLs go into their respective columns so you can easily compare results. This update nano node mirrors the update Seedream node but saves nano banana results instead. We are using the same logic to update those columns. Here we update the nano image URL field and the nano video URL field. This merge node waits for both update Seedream and update nano nodes to complete. This final Airtable node marks the entire job as complete by updating this status column to done value. Now you know this comparison run finished successfully and all assets are saved. Now that we have reviewed all the workflows, we're almost ready to start testing the workflow. First, make sure your Airtable has records with status set to do and all fields are filled in. The first field is the title. You can give a meaningful name here. Then you need to provide the reference image in this column. Then fill in the image prompt and a video prompt if you want the video to be generated. Then provide the aspect ratio. Save your workflow if it is not already saved by clicking the save button here, and make sure the workflow is active by toggling this button to on position. Open this Airtable webhook node. Go to the production URL tab and click here to copy the webhook URL. You will see a message here saying URL copied. Now head to your Airtable, go to this image and video field, select this drop down box and select this edit field option. Now paste your webhook URL between these double quotes. Then hit this save button here. Once you made all the changes and you are ready to test the workflow, click on this create button. You will see a message saying workflow was started. You can come back to your workflow and then click on this executions tab. You will see the progress of your workflow here. If you haven't seen the actual comparison results yet, check out the link in the description for the comparison video where I put both models head to head across 6 creative use cases. You will see exactly where each one shines.